Hello everyone. Happy Thursday. Good seeing everybody. Good to be back in LA doing my meditations, my remote viewings, my tarot readings, all that good stuff. I have a couple things that I wrote down from last night's remote that I want to be able to go through. A couple questions people had asked. They wanted to know if I could date when I record. The day I upload the video is the day I record. So if you look at the date of the upload, I always upload within an hour of taping. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some meditations I did last night, and specifically what is going on with the president, the Senate, etc., and also the fact that Sarah Huckabee Sanders is resigning. So let's first talk about Sarah Huckabee Sanders' resignation. I had talked about that a couple of months ago, that there was tension that was beginning to build between Trump and Sarah Sanders, and specifically it felt like something had happened during a press conference and he had become angry about her response, and so he began to cut the number of press conferences down, and then they gave her a couple more chances, and then because when she would attempt to read what the policies of this administration are or justify them, she was called out on fact checkers, etc., etc. So she didn't really have much of a job for the last couple of months, and it just felt like she became the scapegoat in the sense. The fact that there were press conferences where she was called out, where the administration was called out, and she was not able to give the right answers. So who do you blame? You blame her rather than blaming the policies of the administration. So that's what it felt like energetically when I went in and took a look at it. I spent a little bit of time focusing on the Senate, Mitch McConnell again. And it really feels like the action and the issue and the focus really needs to be the Senate, the conservatives, and the business world, and the laws that they are attempting to push through Congress, that they're attempting to push through the Senate. And the reason why this became a focus in the meditation, why I kept going back to it, was this idea of the powers of the Senate being maximized in order to push forward the conservative agenda. That's basically what I got from last night's meditation. So what Donald Trump does when he acts erratically or chaotically or does a tweet doesn't bother Mitch McConnell or the Senate. They basically ignore him. All they are focusing on is their agenda, the conservative agenda, and putting real laws and real structures in place that are going to preserve the way of life that they want to continue to enjoy. So in that sense, President Trump has become a distraction that we are chasing after at the expense of really focusing on what we need to be focusing on, which is what is the Senate up to? What are the bills that they're pushing through? What is Mitch McConnell up to? What is Lindsey Graham up to? What are they trying to do? Because there's no romance anymore between the Senate and the president. They don't really care what he does so long as he goes along with whatever bills they're trying to push through. And so that's really the feeling that I got from the Senate. It's almost as if they're grateful for the distraction of the president, because it allows them to go off and push these policies that they seem to support. All right, so I decided that I was going to go ahead and do a throw on specifically Washington, D.C., and just tensions or the relationship that's brewing between the conservatives, the Democrats, and the Republicans. And I just want to see if we're going to be seeing a rise in tension or if we're going to start seeing more cooperation, because that's what it looked like the last time I took a look. Let's take a look. So I just want to see what's going to be happening in the coming week in terms of the dynamics between Republicans and the Democrats. Where they are outright now refusing to listen to one another. The Two of Swords is moving in. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I always think about the Bible verse about how God hardened the heart of Pharaoh when I see the Two of Swords. There's this real butting of heads that has started to happen between. It's as if they're two separate worlds. You have the Republicans, which are completely shut down. They don't want to deal with the president. They don't want to deal with the issues of collusion. And then on the other side, you have this rejoicing, the Democrats. And it's as if the Democrats are leaving the Republicans and the conservatives and the old ways behind, and they're getting together and they're getting organized. And and this is precisely what they should be doing, talking about the beautiful world they're going to co-create that's environmentally friendly and people have decent wages, etc. In plain words, what the Democrats are up to, and this is why Elizabeth Warren is gaining in popularity, they're starting to develop structures and plans for how to create the kind of American society they want to create. Unfortunately, I don't think that the Republicans are open to working with the Democrats. Change is happening in D.C., death card moving right over the situation, but a higher ethos. When I see the Hierophant over D.C., I always think of it as the common ethos or the Constitution. It's as if nothing can go above the Constitution. Transformation, and then above it, the common ethos or the Constitution. What is above? Ace of Swords. So an interpretation that I would have is that the ethos or the Constitution tempers the response of whatever is to come. Six of Wands is a card that I associate with success or winning or going into battle with the laurel wreath of victory, and then an Ace of Swords moving in, which is also a victory card. Past, miserly, holding on to one's position, refusing to show one's position, refusing to negotiate. And the near future, the eyes will be opened, crossing an Ace of Swords. There's something that's going to be happening, if it hasn't happened already, where we are about to see the GOP dump this president. And instead, the Constitution is going to win. That's the best way for me to interpret this. Where we are at right now. Remember how I always say that this is an exile card? You can't get into the church, the lights are on, but you're out, you're in exile. It's really about being cold, being in exile, being away from the source of warmth, light, hope. I also call it leaving the broken man. It's often a card that I use to denote dysfunctional relationships or codependent relationships. What is around the situation? Anger, erratic behavior. It's an unstable situation. The hope and the fear, the devil, contracts or alliances that may go against one's ethos or may not be healthy. Codependent relationships, again, relationships with people who you maybe shouldn't be having a relationship with. The final outcome, divorce, walking away, or leaving a situation that is less than perfect in order to create something better or find something better. And the clarification, working together in an exchange of ideas. Five of Wands moves in, not as a card of violence, but of learning, exchange. An ensemble cast of characters comes together to build a stage or to build a foundation. The hope of the fear is the grief of letting go of something that has a feeling to it that's like the devil or an attachment or a relationship that's toxic. Justice comes in, King of Wands, the perfect judge. and harmony or an offer of peace with the King of Cups. So it just kind of reiterates what the card charts have said in the past when I throw that we're moving, even though there are some holdouts, the Constitution seems to win, this administration will be abandoned, and we will start to see new alliances forming between Republicans and Democrats. Now, whether or not that will mean endorsing a conservative or blue dog Democrat like Biden, that's probably the most likely option. All right, that was interesting. I want to thank everybody for watching this quick video from Tarot with Whimsy. If you're still trying to get in for an appointment, you can see my information below. I do phone readings Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.